Hi guys, this is Umair. I'm back with another tutorial series, and this time I'm going to be talking about Node.js and ExpressJs. ExpressJs is basically the framework of Node.js that is used to create the APIs in more cleaner and reliable way than the Node.js core. So in the first video, I'll be talking about how to set up our ExpressJS project. What are the files that are needed to be created for starting up a project that is going to be used with Express and the Node. And I will be talking about different modules of Express and the Node in this whole series. So in the next video, I'll be talking about automating the workflow, how to restart the server if you make any change in a file. Like if I change an element of our template, then our server should be restarted by itself, and the browser that is loading our web page should be reload again using different modules of Express. And then I'll be talking about different HTTP requests, like how to create different endpoints, like different pages for about us, for contact us, for home page, for categories, and how to call those HTTP requests. And then I'll be talking about how to separate different templates into routes, like we have different route for about us, we have different route for contact us, we have different route for our sign in, sign up pages, and all other pages, and how to modularize all these concept and the logic that we are building. And then I'll be talking about how to set up the custom locations, like if we have images, if we have the CSS files, or if we have the media files, audio or video, rather than giving the full path of that folder for the images, for the video or audio, we can set up a static location that whenever I want to use the images or a video or audio file, I'm gonna be using that particular media file without giving the full path that it is inside the public and then the images, then the image name. I'm gonna be giving the static location for that. And then I'll be talking about templates, like how to create and use the third-party templates. Like there are multiple templates, like EJS template, we have a simple HTML templates, we can have handlebars templates, and there are a bunch of other templates, and how to install those templates and create different views for our website using those third-party templates. And that are also be used for different pages for our website. And finally, I'll be giving you overview how to create APIs or endpoints that we can use and make it available for our front-end website. Like we have the framework of JavaScript like React, Vue or Angular, and if you want to expose these endpoints to our front end or the client side, they would be able to use these APIs to get the services of our website. So that is going to be really interesting and really informative. Before getting started, I just want to let you all know that I've already created some tutorials on Node frameworks and ExpressJS. Like I have this video, Node.js tutorial for beginners, in one video that is about the core Node framework, and that is I'm gonna be using different modules of Express in this particular video. But if you want to learn core Node.js, that what are the different modules that already exist in particular Node framework, then you can see this video. And I have other videos as well, how to use npm Node package manager for installing different modules. You can check out this video, and I have these videos as well. I'm gonna give the link of these videos in the description below. And other thing is that if you want to read books or you like to read books, this is the book that I would recommend you guys. This is very interesting book, and if you want to go into depth of Node and Express, you can just buy this book and read it. And the tutorial that I'll be giving you in this whole series will be from this book and from my own experience that I have been working on throughout in past 2-3 years. Okay, so go ahead and check out the description, and if you want to buy this book, you can buy this book through the link in the description. So right now I have opened up my IDE, that is Visual Studio Code, and I have opened up an empty folder. It contains nothing right now. So what I'm gonna do is, first of all, I need to download Node from the Node website. You can download the latest version of Node and install it in your system with the default settings. Along with the Node, it will also install npm called Node Package Manager. Okay, Node Package Manager is used to install different modules of Node, and Express is also a module itself of the Node. Okay, so if I want to check the Node version, I can go to the terminal. This IDE contains terminal itself. You can use the CMD of your system, node space -v, and it will show me the version installed in my system, 6.10.1. that is the version. You might have the latest version or old version than this, but make sure you update your version if it is below than 6.0. okay, and along with the Node, it will install npm, and I can check the version of npm by just writing npm space -v, and this is the version of npm installed in my system. So both the things are installed. So using npm, I can start up my project. So how I can start off my project? I can use npm init, means npm initialize, and that will ask me few questions to create a new file that is called the package.json file, that is used to configure our websites, that how to start our project, which file should execute at the start of our website, and where are different files, and how to run our project. So these are the information that can be given. So what is the name of our project? I can give the name of my project or a package name right here. So I'm just writing learn express, and that is the name of my project. Version is 1.0. let's go. I don't want to give any description right now. Entry point is let's say app.js, that is the entry point. Test command, no test command, and git repository, no git repository, no keyword, no author, no license, and I'm gonna give it yes. So it has created package.json file. So if I open it up, you can see that it has created this object, and it has these properties that it has just asked. It has the main app.js, it has the author. I don't want to write the author. It has this license. If you want to give the GitHub repository or the author a license, you can give it right here, but this is just for explaining you guys. I'm not gonna giving any detail like this in this specific tutorial. Okay, so that's it. So now we have given it an information that the startup file is app.js. okay, so it means that we have to create this app.js, and using the node command we can run this file. Okay, and for the script I need to remove this, and what I'm gonna write inside it is I'm gonna write start and node app.js. okay, so let's save this file, and I'm going to create a new file right here, app.js. okay, so inside this file I can write anything. I can print any message if I want. So first of all, I need to use Express for working with this project. So for using the Express, I need to install Express in this project. So for installing Express, I need to use npm Node Package Manager to install Express. So what I'm gonna do is I will come to the terminal and I will write npm install --save and Express. And if I press enter, it will start downloading Express module, that is the framework of Node, and it will add this module in my project. So it has installed Express module in this node_modules folder, and this is the folder that is created by default, and it contains all the packages that are required for running our application. It has bunch of other modules as well. So this one is the Express module that I have just installed, and all other modules are the dependency modules of Express. So for running Express, these modules should be available for us. Okay, without these modules we can't use Express. So that's why it has installed other modules along with Express and placed those modules in my node modules folder. And if I go to the package.json, you can see that it has created a new property dependencies, means our application need Express for running our website, and it has installed the latest version of Express. This is the latest version, and the way it has added this Express within this property is because I used --save command. So after that I've installed Express. So for requiring and using Express in my app.js file, I'm just going to require Express module. So Express, I have just declared a variable, and I'm going to write require, and I'm going to write the name of my module Express. Okay, so I need to set my server up so that my Express server is running and I can check this server in my web browser. So for running this Express server, first of all, I need to create an app, and that is going to be Express function. Okay, and using this app variable, I can create different endpoints. I can create a server, and I can run the server and listen on a specific port. Okay, so for creating the server, first of all, I need to create a port. So for creating the port, I can use app variable, and I can use the set function, and inside date I need to write port, and I need to check if the developer have environment port or 3300. Okay, if the port is added within this environment variable of the system, that will be used. If not, then I have given the default port, that is 3300. And after that I need to listen this server. So let's say var server equals to app dot listen, and I can use the app dot get function and get this port that I have just created above, and that needs to set before the listening of this port. So I have get this port from this function, and after that I can just use the callback function whenever our server gets starts, and inside it I can just write console.log, and I can write a message listening on port app.get, and I can get the port. Okay, so in my terminal I can use or run this app.js file in two ways. First of all, let's use the node command to run this app.js file, and I'm going to use node space app.js and press enter. So it has shown me listening on port 3300. If I go to my browser and I'm going to write localhost 3300 and press enter, and it has just said me that can't get slash. Okay, this is the error because there should be the default route that should be run for running our server. So in order to create the default route, I need to use app.get, and this is the default route, and after that I can use this callback function, and I can pass it a variable that is going to be a request and the response. Okay, and inside it I need to use response.send, and inside it let's use the HTML h1 element. Hello, this is our Express server. Okay, I need to end my h1 element. All right, so let's save this, and let's add the space right here as well, and run node space app.js command again. So listening on port 3300, and if I reload this page, you can see that it has shown me message hello. This is our, actually this is not our, this is our Express server. So our Express server has been started So we have set up our Express server. That's it for this video. In the next few videos, I will be covering the major topics of Node and Express that I have just explained at the start of this video. So stay tuned, and if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe this channel. So guys, this is the second video. In this video, I'll talk about how to automate the workflow. Workflow means we write the node space app.js command in order to run the server, and we go to the browser and reload the web page in order to see the changes. So we want this to be automated rather than doing these two steps. That will save a lot of time if you are developing a big application. So first of all, before automating it, I just want to tell you that what is the other way in order to execute this app.js file. We can see that we have this script property within this package.json file, and it has a property called start. And start property contains a command node space app.js. We can write this command using this start key. Okay, so whatever we want to execute, we can write it within these double quotes and within the key of start. So rather than writing node space app.js within the terminal, I can use npm node package manager space, and this whatever we write here, we have written start, and that will execute the command that is written inside this node space app.js. Okay, so I can write npm start, and that will start the same server that used to be started using node space app.js command. So you can see that it has started the node space app.js, and it has shown me listening on port 3300. If I go to browser and reload it, you can see that server is still loading because this node space app.js command has been executed. So I just want to create a new folder right here and name this folder app, and I want to bring this app.js file within this app folder. Okay, so now I need to update this start script, so I can write app space app.js and main app space app/app.js. This is just for explaining purpose, and this will execute if I run my npm start command. If I save this file and stop the server and execute this command npm start, you can see that it has now loaded app/app.js file listening on port 3300. If I go to browser, so this is working fine. Now let's automate the workflow. First of all, I will use an external module for reloading and restarting this server. Okay, so for restarting this server, there are many ways to do it. Like we can use gulp, we can use grunt, we can use different modules of Node.js, but there is a global module that we can use. So for installing that module, and the name of this module is nodemon. So install this module globally in our system. So I will use npm space install -g nodemon. And I will press enter. -g means it will install globally in my system, and that will not be added right here in the dependencies object. Means if it installed globally in my system, that will be available in other projects as well, rather than in this project. Just like this Express that is available in this project only. Okay, or the projects that contains this Express in this dependency object and that are installed and added in this node_modules folder. Okay, I want this nodemon to be installed globally. That's why I have added -g after this install keyword. So let's wait for it until install nodemon. So it is done with its installation of nodemon. So now, rather than using node command, node space, and the name of that file that is needed to be run, we can use nodemon along with node. So I will write nodemon and app/app.js. Okay, so you can see that listening on port 3300 using this nodemon command. And if I go to the browser and reload this page, you can see that our server is still working. So now let's change something. This is our Nodejs and ExpressJs. I have made changes in this file and changed the message from this is our Express server and to this is our Node and Express server. And I'm going to save this file and keep an eye on this terminal. It will reload this server automatically. Let's save it, and you can see that it has restarted due to the changes and starting node space app/app.js file. So it has restarted our server. So rather than using nodemon space app/app.js, I'm making changes right here within this start. So I have written nodemon rather than the node right here. And if I close my server and run npm space start, and it will start this nodemon command. You can see right here it has started nodemon space app/app.js. So listening on port 3300, if I reload my page, this is our Node.js and Express server. So let's see if it reload it, if I make any change. Let's save this file again. It has restarted it and it has run this node space app/app.js. So our server is being started and has been set automated. Okay, so now let's use another module that will be used to reload this page. Okay, right now this page is not being loaded once the changes is made to any of these files. Okay, so let's go to the terminal. I'm going to close this server and I'm going to use a module called reload. So in order to install reload module, I will use npm space install -- save, and I will use reload, and it will download this module and it will add that module within this dependencies object and inside node_modules folder. So this reload module has been added right here. It means that it will automatically be added node_modules folder as well. So in order to use this module, same as we required Express, we can require reload module. So I will use var reload equals to require and reload. So reload module have been required. In order to use this reload module, I just need to call this reload function, and I need to pass it the server variable that is listening specific port and the app variable that is containing an instance of this express function. Okay, so I will write server and app. Okay, so let's save it. And other thing I need to do is we need to add a listening script for this reload module under each of these routes. Okay, so I just want to tell you that we can also give it further elements as well rather than just simple HTML elements. So for that we won't be using this single quote or double quote. Instead we will be using a character that is above the tab key on the keyboard. Okay, so let's press enter, and I can end it with the same character, and inside it I can write bunch of lines of HTML if I want. Okay, and I can use the data binding with the variables using this character. So after this h1 I can simply include script source, and I need to write /reload/reload.js and end that script tag. Okay, so let's save this file and let's run our npm start command, and it has started our server and listening on port 3300. And if I resave this file, it has restarted the server. And if I go to the browser and reload it, and let's go and change the message. I'm just going to write hello world. Okay, and I'm going to save this file along with the server. It should reload the page right here. I have not saved the file yet, and rather than clicking on this reload button, it should reload this page automatically and show me the hello world message right here. So let's save this file, save it. We can see that the server has been restarted. Now let's go to our browser and see if the new message is shown or not. So you can see hello world is being shown. It means that without clicking on this reload button, our browser has been restarted and reloaded. So we have automated the workflow. We have automated our script. I'll be using Nodejs, and we can pass different parameters to the Nodejs, that which file should be executed, which file it should see. If it make any changes, then our server should be restarted. Like if we have 10 files and we want our server to be restarted on just if we change only in 5 files, then we can also pass the parameters. We can also pass the extensions of files, that the files that has this much extensions, that has JS extension, that has txt extension, that has JSON extension, only those files should let our server to be restarted. So I'll be doing it later on. I hope that you have liked this video. In the next video, I will start creating more routes rather than just this default route. So see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe this channel and hit the like button if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, so we left here. We created this default route and printed this message, and we also integrated this reload functionality, reloading the browser page and restarting this server whenever any file gets changed. So now we need to create our data JSON object, and from that data we can create further routes and print the data in our browser. So let's get started, and I'm going to create a new folder inside my app, and I will right click app and create a data folder, and inside the data folder I will create a people.json file, and I'm gonna copy a random data in this file. You can create your own data. You can pause this video and rewrite this data of people. Inside this object we have the people's array, and each people has ID, first name, last name, and email address. Alright, so let's save this file, and you can see our server has been restarted, and let's go, and there is no error. Hello world is being printed. Now let's import this data, the people.json file, in this app.js file. In order to import it, I will create a new variable and require, and I will write comma /data/ and that is people.json. Alright, server has been restarted and there is no error, means this file has been imported successfully. Now I will leave this default route as it is, and instead I will create a new route where I will print the people's data. Okay, so after this / I will write people, and let's change the message here, welcome to our site. Alright, and inside my people's route I need to fetch the data from this file and show all the people in the list form. Okay, and you can see there are 4 people right now in this array. So let's go to app.js, and inside it I will create a new variable people, and this is an empty string at start, and I will write data dot people dot for each function item, and inside it I will append this data like this, and inside it we have, let's say, first of all we need to have an h1, and inside it we need to print an ID like this, so item.id, and close the h1 element, and after that let's print the name. So let's use h3 element and item dot first name. I think this is the property name, this is the first name, last name and email. Okay, let's use the curly braces here, and just after that I will print the last name and close the h3 element, and at the end let's print the email address within the paragraph element, and I will use the same syntax, item dot email, and let's close the paragraph element. So we have constructed our info variable, and it is going to iterate through all the items that are within this people array. It is a people right here, and after that we need to send this whole people variable. Actually this is not info, this is the people. Okay, so after that we need to send out that variable. Okay, so in order to send that variable I will use the same syntax like this and people. Okay, so let's reload this page and go to our browser. You can see welcome to our site, because this is the default route. In order to see all the people in our people route, we need to navigate to the people route. Okay, so in our browser, after this route, let's write people and press enter, and you can see this is the ID, this is the name, first name and last name, and this is the email address. So we have fetched the data from our JSON file, and after that we printed the data in this form. This is not a pretty good looking, we can design it later on, but right now I just want to show you how to get the data and print the data using different routes. Okay, so now let's add another route, and in that route I need to fetch the data of specific people. Like in the route I will send out the ID number, these are the IDs, and our route will show us that specific person that belongs to that particular ID. So let's copy this one, let's add semicolon here and paste it, and in order to change it I will write / colon and people ID. Okay, and we can get the ID of this particular person from this request object. Okay, so I will write person, let's write item, and inside it I will use data.people, and this is the array, and I will fetch the ID from here. Okay, so request dot params dot, and whatever we write here we need to use this variable in order to get the ID. So I'll copy this one and paste it. Okay, so we have fetched the particular person that belongs to that particular ID. So rather than going through and iterating through all the items of the array, I need to remove this process and remove this empty string as well, and from within this one I just need to use the item. Let's copy everything from above and paste it right here. Okay, so using that item variable we are fetching the ID of that particular person, first name and the last name, and after that we are fetching the email, and we need to write this reload. This is pretty hectic. I will automate this one as well, but right now you must add this reload script statement in order to reload the page and restarting the server. So let's save it and go to our browser. You can see all the people are being shown, and after that let's add 2. Okay, so you can see this one has been shown. Now the problem is that array starts from 0 and our IDs are being started from 1. Okay, so in order to resolve this problem we can do it in various ways. We can also change the IDs and starting from 0, 1 and 2, but we don't want to change this JSON file. Instead, we need to change here. I'm gonna write -1 here. So if we hit the URL with the ID 1, that is going to be changed to 0. So 0 means that this array having the item that belongs to the 0th index. Okay, so the first one will be fetched. All right, so let's save it and go to our browser, and you can see if I write 2, it is returning the second object. Okay, means that if it is 2, that will be deducted with 1, and the second item of that array that belongs to the second index will be returned and shown right here. If I change the 1, and it will return me the first person from that array. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this video. That was just to show you how to create different routes, but let's say that we have bunch of routes in our file. We don't want to create all the routes within this one single file. We need to create a proper structure, proper folders and files that we can manage in order to create routes. So in the next video, I will create a specific structure for these routes and use these routes using that specific route structure. So stay tuned, make sure to subscribe our channel and make sure you hit the like button if you like this video. Comment below if you have any question, and make sure I gave the link of a book, Amazon book, that is really recommended for you guys if you want to learn Node and Express in depth. Make sure to check out that book in description below and buy that book if you want to learn more. Thanks. Alright guys, so let's modularize our routes. First of all, we need to create 2 routes, and one route will be a default route that will contain this default route, and other route will be a people's route that will contain all the routes that are related to our people JSON file. So along with the data, I will create a new folder inside my app folder, and I will name it routes. So inside my routes, I will create index.js and another file, and that is people.js. Alright, so in my app, I will cut this default route and take it to the index, and I will cut both the other routes and take it to the people.js file. Okay, so in my app, how the app.js, the default server app, the file knows that this index file is the default route and this people.js file is the people's route. So Express provide us an efficient way in order to identify the route files. So first of all, we can use app.use, and inside it we can use require, and within the single quotes I can use routes and index. I don't need to write .js along with it, so I will just test it with the index for now. So I'll save this file, but there is an error because I need to export this file as a route. I need to tell this app.js file that if I'm importing this index file inside my app.js file, this has to be the route. Okay, so I will copy the Express line right here, and after that I will create a router equals to express dot router. Okay, and rather than using the app.get, I will write router.get, and after that I need to export this module. So I will use module.exports equals to router. Alright, so let's save this file, and now you can see there is no error. Alright, I don't need to I'm not adding this people's route right now, so just go to the browser and test it if it's working fine. So I'll go to my browser, and you can see can't find people/1. So right now I just need to test the default route. If I navigate to the localhost colon 3300, we have seen this message, welcome to our site. So our index route is working. Okay, so now in the same way we need to create our people's route. So I will write people, the name of that file, but that file needs to have these things. So I will copy and paste right here, and copy and paste right here as well. I need to export this module, and rather than using app.get, I need to write router.get. So let's save it. You can see there is no error, but right now you can see that this file is using this data variable right here and right here as well, but we have not imported that data variable inside our file. There are two ways that we can use this data JSON file variable in this route. So let's go to our browser and let's see what is the error. If I go to this route and I will write people, and you can see data is not defined. This is the error that has been shown in our browser. Okay, so in order to use it, we can import the same line right here that we imported this thing. Okay, so let's copy this and paste it right here, and rather than, let's say we are inside the route, so we need to write dot // and data, and inside it we have people.json. So let's go to our browser and reload it, and you can see that the data has been shown. Okay, there is no error in our project right here, but it is not a good practice if we have created multiple files in our routes folder and all the files are requiring the same data/people.json file. So what is the other and efficient way of using the data variable is to set this data variable from here. So in order to set this variable, I can use app.set, and just like I set that import variable, I can set the data variable as well. So data, and I can use the data variable that has been used right here. Okay, so in order to use this data variable that has been set right here in my index and the people route file, I can use a local variable right here, data, and I can use this request object in order to get the data set that is inside this app.js file. So I will use request.app.get, and I will write data. Okay, so let's copy this line and paste it right here as well. So let's save it and go to our browser and see the same result has been shown up. If I navigate to any specific people, let's say I want to get the third person, and you can see Leo Messi, the ID has 3, has been fetched. So in this way we can separate different routes using these this folder, routes folder, or we can write anything here, but this is a recommended folder name. You can see the icon has been changed with respect to the name of our folder, and icon of the app is different, icon of the node_modules is different. So that's why there has to be a specific recommended names of these routes. We have a public folder as well, we can have a models folder, we can have a controllers folder, views folder that we will be creating in upcoming videos. So that's for it in this video. Make sure you subscribe my channel and hit the like button if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching, and make sure you download the book that is given in the description below, that is recommended for you guys to get the better and in-depth understanding of working with Node and Express. Thanks. Alright guys, so we are done with modularizing our routes. Now we need to use something provided by Express, and that is a middleware. Middleware is something that has to be used by multiple routes in multiple views, and rather than giving a full path from the root of our application, we define a static folder that this is the folder that needs to refer its child folders or the files directly rather than giving the full path. So let me do it before you understand clearly what does it mean. So in order to, I have created this public folder. Okay, so you can see it has added its recommended icon right here, and inside the public folder I have added the images folder, and in the images I have given the 4 images of 4 people that are added in my JSON array. Okay, we have this Roger, and you can see that I have given the name of these images with the name of the first name of these people. Okay, so that I'm able to concatenate and add the images in my view. And inside the public folder we can also create CSS folder, and inside the CSS folder we can add the CSS files, or we can add the JS folder in which we can add the jQuery files or the JavaScript scripting files, or and in the images folder we can add the sub images folder as well, but for simplicity I have just added the images in my images folder. Okay, so let's come to our app.js file. In order to define this public folder as a static folder, I need to use express.static function. So before that I need to use app.use, and inside it I need to use express and static, and inside it I need to refer to a specific folder that has to be the middleware. So app/public. So I have said that from the app to the public folder, this is the middleware that needs to be used all over our application. Okay, so let's go back to our people.js file, and inside it you can see that we have 2 routes. One is the people and the people ID. We need to add the image of each people. Let's say that I don't want to add the IDs right here. Okay, IDs are just are not required to print on the screen, so I will remove this ID. Instead I will use the image right here. So in order to add the image I will use the image element and source, and after that I need to use slash and directly refer to the folder that is inside the public folder, because I don't need to write the reference of this image directly from the app folder. Instead I can directly use images slash and the name of images. So you can see that I can get the name of each image from this people's array, and you can see that I have already told you the name of the image refers to the first name of this array. So image, and right here I can use $, curly braces, item dot first name, and I can then write dot JPG. Okay, so let's add a alt as well. So inside the alt I can simply copy this thing and paste it and end the image element. So if I go to my browser, and you can see that it has taken out all the images and it has bind those images in my template. So if I go to /1, there is no image. Let's add the image right there as well. So here is, I just need to copy this one, copy it and paste it right here, and the name of the variable is same as the item, so we don't need to worry about it. Item.firstname.jpg. so let's save it, and if I go to my browser you can see that the image has been imported. Let's navigate to the second person, that is a John Cena. So I have got all these 4 people in my view. We can also add the CSS files right here inside the CSS folder. Let's create the CSS folder. I'm not gonna be using the CSS file right here in this video. I'll be using the CSS files in the next video. So let's create the folders before that, and you can see that these are the names that are recommended, and according to the names they assign the images proper images. So let's add a folder, and that is a JS folder for the scripts. So these are the most common used folder in a public folder. So that's it for this video. In the next video I'll use templating, and I will make this view a bit beautiful, and I will add a menu bar, the home button and the people's button, and about us, and we will add a routing among those links in our menu bar. Stay tuned, subscribe my channel, like this video, and comment below if you have any question. Hi guys, I'm back with another video. This is the sixth part, and in this video I'll talk about how to create partials and templates using Express. What if we have created our backend, our APIs, and we want to manipulate those APIs? We don't need to use our CMD or open up the code for manipulating it. We must know that how to generate the views or the templates that we can show our data on. So it is really helpful and really important for you to know if you want to become a server-side developer. So we ended up here in the last video. We created our routes. This is our index route and this is our people's route, and here we are showing the data from our people.json file within the data folder. All right, and for generating the templates using the Express provide us really good way to generate multiple templating engines. Like in this video I'll use EJS templating engine. You can use other engines like handlebars or whatever you want to use. So in order to install EJS I will use npm. So inside my terminal in my project I will just write npm install -- save and EJS, and I will press enter, and it will start downloading EJS library from the internet, and that will help us in data binding and creating our templates in our Node application. So we have installed our EJS. If I go to package.json, we can see that EJS 2.5.7 is installed, and it is added in our node_modules folder. Now in order to use EJS we must be able to define the folder, the directory of our views. We know that inside the app directory we have the data, we have the public, and we have the routes directory. What if we need to create a views directory? We can create our structure how we want. So I'll go with views folder, and inside the views folder I will create a new file index.ejs. all right, and in my index.js file, rather than sending out the response with this hard-coded template, this h1 element, welcome to our site, this is the message, and we have the script. Rather than writing it, we can render our view that is inside our views folder. Okay, but before rendering it I want to let you know that we need to first tell our Express that what templating engine we are going to use. So that templating engine is EJS. So in order to define our templating engine we need to use app.set. Within the single quotes we can write view engine comma and the templating engine. In our case this is the EJS. all right, and then we need to define the directory of our view files. We don't really require to define this. If we don't define this, then our EJS will consider, our Express will consider that our views files like the index.ejs is in the root directory, like in along with this app folder and the node_module folder, but we don't want to add our views parallel to these folders. Instead we want to add our folders, our views inside the views directory. So in order to define our directory we need to set views comma and app/views. okay, and it will tell our Express that our all view files are inside views folder. okay, so it's really good up till now. Now I will come inside it. I've created that index.ejs. Now in order to render our view that is right now empty, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste a default testing template. You can pause this video and you can just copy and paste. This is just an HTML template. This is the style sheet, a link to a bootstrap library, bootstrap.min.css. okay, and after that we have the body element. Inside it we are using the head, nav, and these are the classes of the Bootstrap. And we have the header, and header has two links, home and the people, that are navigating to the default route, and it is navigating to the people's route. And at the end I am just remove it. Let's remove it as well. And I need to load this script in order my nodemon to work well, and in order my browser to reload whenever any change occur. Okay, so that's it. Now let's go to our index, and I'm going to comment this response.send. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to render our view. So inside the single quote I just need to enter index, and we have already defined that our views are inside views folder. We don't need to navigate to app/view/index, and we don't need to add the .ejs along with this file name. All right, so let's go and run our application and see everything is working fine. So I'm going to write npm start and press enter, and it's going to go to the script, and it will load up everything that is written inside our start script. Okay, that is nodemon app/app.js. So let's go to our browser, and this is the layout, this is the home, and this is the people, and this is what we have done. We have not loaded our page directly from here. Instead we have loaded our template response.index, and inside our template we have this thing. Okay, so last thing in this particular video, I want to show you that how to pass variables for data binding. Let's say we want to send some kind of variables from here, or some other templates where we want to render our template from. We should know that how to render the views, so how to send variables. So I will write comma, and we can send an array of objects or an object that contain different values. So let's say I want to send welcome message, and that is welcome. Okay, so in order to show the value of this property value message, let's go to our index.ejs, and inside it we can simply write, after this we can write this %sign equals to and the name of our property, and that is welcome message, and we will end it with the percentage and greater than sign. If I save this file and go to my browser, and you can see that it has shown welcome sports dash welcome, and this welcome text is coming from the variable that we have passed from here. Okay, and there is another way, if a variable that's value needed to be used in multiple views, not just our index. Okay, we don't need to send this object again and again from multiple views. What we can do is we can create a global variable. So how we can create a global variable that will be that we can use in multiple views? We can just go to our app.js file, and we can create a global variable right here. We can use app.locals dot and the name of variable, let's say site title and sportsman. All right, so this is the name of variable. I will go right here index dot, rather than directly writing something here, I will just use the EJS way of displaying the value of our variable, and I'll paste it. Okay, let's save it and go to our browser, and you can see that sportsman, if I reload it, sportsman dash welcome, and these tags are coming from the variable. Sportsman is coming from the global variable that we have defined in our app.js file, and our welcome message is the variable's value that we have sent from our index file. So that's pretty much it for this video. In the next video I'll talk about how to move further and using different things that we can use from EJS, that we can use if statements, we can use loops, and then I will talk about how to create partials for different pages of this website. Like if I click on home, it should show up a message under right here in the white blank area. If I click on people, rather than navigating to a different page, it should load this content directly under this menu bar. Okay, so let's wait for it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and comment below if you have any question. Hi guys, in this video I want to show you how to use if statements and loops in our EJS files. I won't be using this people.json for explaining this thing. Instead, I have created a gallery.json file within the data folder, and in my gallery.json file I have an object, and that has an array of images, and each image contain an object, and each object has title and the URL, and these URLs I have got from a website, a free stock photos. You can go to the www.pexels.com, and I have just right click each image, and I have right click again and open link in a new tab, and this is the URL that I have copied. And the title, I have given the title by my own. This is the sunset, the woman, the sea, and the view, whatever the title you want to give it. So you can get the link of images from anywhere you want. I've got this from this site. So this is the JSON file that I'll be using for explaining you guys how to use if and loops. So keep it a gallery.json within the data folder. So close it, and again, same as I required the data for the people, I will just copy this line and paste it, and I will name it gallery.json, and I will name it gallery. And same as I did for the app set data, I will use gallery, and the gallery here. Okay, we can directly require the gallery inside our index.js file, but it is good if we add it once within the app.js file rather than in multiple files. Okay, so now we need to get it inside this file. We can use our request variable in order to get the data from this gallery variable. So to do it, we need to just go right here, and I will write gallery equals to request.app.get. Within the single quotes, I will write the word that I wrote inside app.set. Okay, now along with this welcome message, I can send out the images, gallery.images. If I go to gallery, we can see that we have this whole object, and if I just write gallery, it will get the whole object. In order to get the images, I need to write dot images, and that will return me an array of all these images. Okay, so I'm done with it. Let's save both of these files. If I go to sports men welcome, nothing shows, and let's go and index.js file. So we can see that we have this header, and we can add a container right here. So I'm just gonna copy and paste the template that I want to use. You can just pause this video and just write as it is. This is the bootstrap container. Okay, so this is the container. We can add the main content within this div. Okay, so let's try to first add the main content. I will just copy and paste this thing. I just want to bring it in one line, and let's save it and go to our browser and reload, and you can see this is the main content shows up using the variables. One is from the global variable and one is the being sent from the view. Okay, so now inside the sidebar body we can show the gallery images, and I just want to add the label right here. Let's go and reload. You can see that this is the heading and this is the main content, and under this gallery heading we can show all these images that are within the images array. So here I'm gonna use the if and loops. For adding our if and loops we need to use the same syntax, less than sign, percentage, and equals to. For using the if statement, we can use less than, percentage, if images dot length, bracket, and we can use for loop. For using the for loop, let's first end this thing, and for using the for loop let's use the percentage sign again. For I equals to 0, I less than images I plus plus, and let's end it like this. Actually, we need to close everything within the EJS syntax and everything that belongs to JavaScript. If statements, variable, data binding, and these curly braces doesn't belong to HTML. So whatever doesn't belongs to HTML, we need to add it inside our EJS syntax. Okay, now within the for loop, we can just use the image element and source equals to, and we can just get the value, and for getting the value after the percentage sign we know that we need to use the equal sign. Okay, so images I dot URL, this is a property in each object of image, and let's end it with percentage and greater than. Let's add alt, and within the alt let's use images I dot title. Okay, let's end it, and after that let's add the width and height. So for the width let's say 100 pixels, for the height let's say 80 pixels, and let's add the margin. Let's add inline styles, so margin 5 pixels. Okay, I think there is no any syntax error. Let's go to our browser and reload it. Images are not showing, so let's go back to our code, and there must be error here. We have a for loop. Oh, we need to write images dot length right here. All right, and let's go to our browser and reload page. Now images must show up. You can see that we have 4 images. If we would have more images, let's go to our gallery.json, and I'm going to copy these 3 images again, and I'm going to paste it right here, and let's add a comma right here to remove any syntax error. Let's go to our browser, and you can see all the images are being shown on the right side of this page because we have used Bootstrap, and Bootstrap have contained this content on the left side and the gallery on the right side. So we are done with understanding how to use loops and how to use conditional statements within our EJS files. In the next video, that is very important for you guys, because I'll be talking about partials, because right now I'm not navigating to any other page and I want to load the content of people directly in my container right here rather than navigating to a separate page. Okay, so let's wait for it. Make sure to subscribe this channel and hit the like button and comment below if you have any question. Alright guys, so let's go and make our view a little bit more cleaner. Actually, we are going to use the functionality of EJS that is including other templates. So first of all, what I'm gonna do is in my views folder, I'm gonna right click and create a new folder, and I will name it partials. Okay, and I will take out different groups of code. Like we have a header right here, we have this main content, we have this nav bar, we have this main content, we have this sidebar. So let's first create a new template within this partials folder and right click and new file, and I'm going to name it main content.ejs. And in my index.ejs, this is the main content, and I'm going to copy it and paste it right here. Let's save it, and inside it I'm going to include that particular partial called main content.ejs, and in order to include it I will use the syntax provided by EJS, and that is less than sign percentage include partials / and the name of file, and that is main content.ejs, and I will end it with %sign and greater than. Okay, make sure you save both the things, and let's go to our browser and reload it, and you can see main content is loading. It means that our inclusion of this particular partial is being loading successfully. Now I want to include other things as well. Let's create one more file for the nav bar, and I'm going to paste this much code in that nav bar. So let's right click the partials and create a new file, and I will name it navbar.ejs, and from the index.ejs I'm going to cut this code and paste it right here. Okay, and inside it let's copy this line and paste it, and I'm going to change the name of my file, and I will name it navbar. Let's save it. Let's go to our browser and reload it. Our navbar is loading. So let's say I want to put this header in my header.ejs. So header.ejs, and from the index let's cut it and paste it, and in my index I'm going to load up the header. Alright, let's save it. Let's go and reload. Our header is being loaded, means that our title is being shown right here, sportsman-welcome. Let's go back, and now the last thing I want to do is this sidebar. Okay, let's right click partials, new file, and I'm going to name it sidebar.ejs. So let's cut this bunch of code and paste it right here, and in my index let's copy it and paste it, and I will name it sidebar. Okay, so let's save it. Let's go to our browser and reload. You can see our sidebar gallery is being shown. So you can see that this is something looking more cleaner. If I remove some spaces, okay, so this is looking more cleaner because we know that all the code for the navbar is inside the navbar.ejs. All the code for main content is inside that main content.ejs, and same for the sidebar and the header. We can create multiple things as well. We can put the whole body code in a separate EJS file, and in that particular EJS file we are going to include these things. Okay, and in that case we need to navigate back to the partials folder. Okay, but for now that's pretty much good. Now we are done with our home page, because from our view we are loading up our index. If I go to index, we can see that we are loading up index view. Now in order to load our people's view right here, we need to create that particular view as well. So I'm going to just I'm going to right click index.ejs and copy and view, right click and paste. Okay, and I'm going to change the name of it peoples.ejs. Okay, so we have the same particular code for the people and for the index.ejs. Okay, but if I go to reload page and click on the people, you can see that the same page is being loaded. The reason is that from our index.js file, we are only loading up the index route, index view from this /route. What we are going to do is from our routes, and inside it we have the people.js. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write the same code from the index. I'm going to copy this code, and in my people.js file I'm going to paste it. Instead, let me comment it first and paste it right here. Okay, and from here I'm going to load up the people view that I have just created. Peoples, actually this is not people, this is peoples.ejs. okay, we have the images, we have the gallery.image, and now let's go to our browser and we can see that it is loading. If we go to home page, it is loading the same page. If we go to the people's route, it is loading the same page. Okay, what we want to do now is to, rather than loading up this sportsman dash welcome content here, we want to load up the people. Okay, so if I let me just remove these files. Okay, we have the people.ejs files. So this is where our main content is being loaded, and in our peoples.ejs file, rather than loading up the main content, we need to load up the peoples.ejs file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click partials and create a new file, peoples.ejs. okay, and if I go to the people right here, and let me copy this and I'm going to paste it. Let me just remove it. Okay, and from the people.ejs files I'm going to change the name of it, and that is peoples.ejs. all right. Right now it won't show anything because I haven't sent anything that is related to item or anything inside that particular item. If I go to my people.ejs, we know that we navigated to the we iterated through all the people using this for each loop, and that showed us all the content of that people. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get the data as well for the people. So let's create a variable peoples equals to request.app.get and data. okay, and let me change the name of variable, and rather than along with the welcome message and images, I'm going to send out the peoples. So the data dot people, and the data dot people is an array within the JSON file. okay, this is the JSON file, and that is an array of objects, and each object represent one person. okay, so from our people.js file we are sending out peoples as a key, and that contains the people. okay, so I'm going to copy this code, and inside it I'm going to paste it. Let me remove these lines again. all right, So this is particular code that belongs to EJS, that is not belongs to HTML. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to wrap it within the EJS syntax. All right, and that is not data.people. If I go to my peoples, we know that this is the peoples. Let's change it peoples, and again wrap this code in the EJS syntax as well. All right, I'm going to comment this line, and we have the item, and rather than showing the item first name and last name with this syntax, and this is the syntax of Express, I'm going to use this syntax in order to show the values, that is the first name and the last name. Okay, let me first show the email using the syntax of, so let's use this equals to percentage, and I will use item dot email. Okay, so let's save it. Let's go to people.ejs and save. Actually, this is actually both the files have same name. It might be confusing for you. This is not, this is the people that is inside the partial, and this peoples is actually the view. Okay, so let's go to our browser and reload. So you can see that we have loaded the emails in the form of the list, and this is actually showing because it's written right here. Okay, let's go to our browser and reload, and you can see all the emails of particular people are being loaded. Okay, and this is our home, and it is showing this text, and if I go to people, it is showing all the people the emails, because we have just shown the emails of the people. Let me uncomment it and wrap the first name item like this. Let's add the space and add it again right here for the last name. So let's save it. Let's go to our browser and reload it. It should show the name of the people. This is the name and this is the email. Now let's go and uncomment it, and let's wrap it within this EJS syntax. Not right here, but right here, where I need to fetch the data from a variable, and I need to end it, not cut, copy and paste it. Okay, and same for this alt. For the alt, I need to use this thing and end it like this. So let's save it, and let's go to our browser and reload it. It should show the images. So guys, you can see that in the people's route we have these peoples, and in the home we have this sportsman welcome. All right, so I hope that you have got the idea how to create partial, and the partial are the ways in order to separate the content of each route. Okay, if you don't have if you have any question or any confusion related to what you have done, make sure you comment below. I will answer your questions. And thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe this channel. See you in the next video. Thanks. Hi guys, in this video I'll show you how to create a detailed page of individual person. Like if I click on the title, the name of any person from the list, it should navigate us to the detail page, and from where we will see further details of any person. So I will remove this email, and whenever I'll click on the title of any person, it will show us these details along with the email on the detail page. So in the code, let's remove this email from here. And if I go to peoples.js file, we can see that we have a route people/people id, and we can modify it in order to create a detail page. So first of all, I will just comment this response.send, and I will bring up this code right here, and let's remove -1. And this is the item that will contain the data of an individual person, because that can be fetched from that array. So what I'm gonna do is this, along with the people, rather than sending all the peoples, I will send out the item. Okay, because we want to show the welcome message, we want to show the gallery images on the right side, we need to send the images, and we need to send the people that needed to be shown at the detail page. All right, so let's save it, and now let's go to our views folder, and I'm gonna create a new view that I need to render. Right now it is rendering a people's route, people's view that is showing the list of all the persons. So in the view, I will create a new file, and I will create people detail.ejs, and from the people.ejs I'll copy all the code and I will paste it in people detail.ejs. okay, and rather than loading up this peoples.ejs, I will create a new partial that will show an individual detail of a specific person. So inside the partials folder, I will create a file, I will name it person.ejs. okay, and in my people detail I will change it to the person.ejs, and in the person let me show something in order to verify whether this route is working or not. Hello world. So that's it for now. In the people's route, rather than loading up the peoples, I need to load up people detail as a route. So I will change it people detail. All right, because that is directly inside the views folder. So let's save all these files and go to our browser and go to the home page, and this is the home page. If I go to the people, that's it, and now let's add /1, and it should show me the hello world, because that is what we have printed from our template, from our partial. Right now we need to use this ID in order to show the detail of a specific person. Okay, so let's go back, and in our person.ejs I'm going to copy, I'm not going to use for each right here, I'm going to copy these two lines and paste it right here. Okay, and after the image and this name, first name and last name, I need to use this p, and I will print out the email. So item.email, and if I go back to my people.js file, we know that we have all the data in our this people object. Okay, so rather than using the item, I need to change it people. So let's copy and paste it everywhere. All right, and now let's go to our browser, and if I navigate to a specific person, if I press 2, you can see that it is showing me Leo Messi, its email and the image. But I want to make it a click based route. I need to click on any of these person's name, and it should navigate us to specific detail page of specific person. So what I'm gonna do is, in my peoples.ejs file, I need to add an href right here. So after the h3 element, I will use anchor, and I will add a property href, and inside it I need to use the route, and this is the route that I need to use. So in the peoples.ejs I need to use slash peoples slash and an ID. So let me first end this, and I will end it with anchor. Alright, and after the slash we need to get the ID. So the for each loop return us an index, that in which index we are at right now. So after the item we can get the index from here, and in order to get the value of the index we need to use the EJS syntax, and I can use index and percentage sign and the greater than, and from here we will be getting the index of each person from that particular array. Okay, so let's go and reload, and you can see it has become blue, and it's showing that it is, you can see at the bottom the URL is people/0. If I hover it, people/1. If I hover it, people/2. So if I click on the first one, it should people0 can't get. All right, let's go and let's save it, and let me go to this file. We have this people, this is not peoples actually, we have written peoples. Let's remove s from here, and this is the people/id. So let's reload, and now if I click on it, it should show us the detail page of Roger Federer, and including the email. If we had another detail of in our JSL file of specific person, we can show that thing as well. Okay, so let's go back and let's click on Shahid Afridi, and it should show us this specific person. So we can increase it, we can make this website much bigger using these techniques, and there won't be any different than the knowledge that I have given up till now. So I hope that you have got the idea how to use Node and Express for creating a website and for generating the views directly from the server side, rather than using our front-end framework like Angular. That is really powerful because that is use a single page web application that is a bit faster, but in order to create the user interface for the server side, this is the technique that we can use. We can use HBS as a templating engine for our Express and the Node. So I hope that you have liked this series, and next I'll be creating more series on more advanced topics like how to create a big bunch of API services that we can use from our front-end website. So that will be really an interesting and really good for you, for your future, for you to learn. Guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and make sure I have given the link of a book in the description of each video of this series. So if you want to learn in depth Node.js and Express, make sure you click on that link and buy that book from the Amazon. So make sure to comment below if you have any question, and don't forget again to subscribe my channel and like this video and share it with your friends as well. Thanks for watching.